Hi ladies, hi gents. I want to share a video with you today, and it's a design team project for Wild Orchid Crafts, a wild bunch. And as usual, I will pop the link to the store and to the Facebook group and the YouTube channel down below in the description box underneath the video, that way. And I'll also pop the product codes of all the items that I've used in my project. Just one thing, I've noticed that I've had a couple of comments that say, you know, people wish that Wild Orchid Crafts was in the UK, and for all the newbies out there that maybe don't know all the stores, Wild Orchid Crafts is here in the UK. They're based in Milton Keynes in the UK. So, you know, I know it's really easy to think that everything's in the US because we don't have a lot of craft stores here in the UK, but Wild Orchid Crafts, the flowers, are based here in the UK. So, if just in case you didn't know, because I have had a couple of questions, so yes, they are here in the UK. So run along and check out the store and see all the amazing, wonderful flowers that they've got. They are fantastic. You'll just fall in love with them. Once you've bought from them, that's it. You just keep going back. Right, so I'm just going to move this out of the way. Okay, so my project today is like a shadow box frame. And this is just a paper mache frame that I picked up at a craft show in Birmingham at the NEC, and it's a 12 by 12, and so it was craft colour, and all I did was gesso the whole thing white, both sides and the edges, and I did rub a little bit of distress ink on the edges just in the Victorian velvet. Okay, so I just covered the outside frame in this tiny lace with the little flowers on, and I just framed the whole section with that. Okay, in these two squares I've lined the square using seam binding all the way around the inside edge of the square, and the same on this one. And then the other two I've used a tiny flower trim to line the inside edges of these two all the way around. I used oh, excuse me, paper in the background of each square, and it's tea time Prima paper that I've used in the background of each square. Okay, so I'm just going to take one at a time. The seam binding is from Wild Orchid Crafts, and it's the rose petal seam binding, and the product code is MKX-246. It's such a beautiful pink, really, really beautiful. Okay, so if I zoom in on the square, that might be a bit much. Okay, there. Okay, so in this section I've used a heart doily, and this is from Wild Orchid Crafts, and it comes in a set of mixed set of paper doilies, and the product code is MKX-246, and I just rubbed some distress ink over it in the Victorian velvet. Gosh, my voice is a bit squeaky this morning. Then I've used some of the pale pink chrysanthemums. I love these. They are so beautiful. Really, really beautiful. They are the most palest pink. They are just gorgeous. And the product code for these is MKX-202. Then I've just used some of the miniature gardenias. Again, these are new and I'm totally in love with them, and they come in mixed colour set. These are beautiful, really stunning. If you haven't seen them yet, they are just gorgeous. And the product code for these is MKX-198. Okay, so in this section I've just put a tiny resin frame with an image, and this is one of my favourite images, the little girl with all the lace and flowers in her hair, and it's absolutely gorgeous. A tiny piece of applique here, and then a trellis rose, and this is from the mixed pink trellis roses, and the product code is MKX-092. These are such a beautiful flower, really stunning, and of course they do them in so many different colours, so do check them out, because if you're looking for a certain colour, they're bound to, well, they will have it, that's for sure. Okay, then this bottom square had this little wooden house piece in my stash, and I just painted it with gesso and then rubbed some distress ink over it, and I think it turned out really cute. I've just added some lace to the top and to the bottom here, and then some flat back pearl, and the product code for this is MKX-615. And then I've used these tiny 10mm roses in pink. I'm just looking for the product code for those. Oh yes, here, and these are from the vintage set, these pale pink ones, the mixed vintage colours in the 10mm, and the product code is MKX-043. So they're from the vintage set. I've got tiny little birdie just peeping out here, and then I've got this gardenia spray. I don't think they're in stock at the moment, so I won't give you the product code for those, but they do have other gardenias on the website in all colours, so do just go to the drop down and look for gardenias, and you will see the variety that they've got there. And in this section I've just used some burlap and lace in a strip at the back, and then I've created a little bouquet of flowers. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. I used the seam binding again to tie them together into a bouquet and then a bow above it. So here I've got the pale pink hip rosebuds, and the product code for those is GST060. Then I've got the large baby pink rosebuds, and I love these. Let me just see. I love the size of these. They are so beautiful. They really are. Really stunning. And there's another one on that side, and then in the centre. They really are gorgeous. I really love them. And the product code for those is MKX-102. Then just here I've got some of the tulips, and these are from the mixed pink set, and again these are beautiful, really beautiful flowers. I just love them. Let me actually just turn that around a bit so you can see them. So these are the tulips, and the product code for those is MKX-143. And then I've just added some pearl spray and some tiny a crystal, what's it called, wheat leaf, something like that, behind there as well. But I just love these large rosebuds and the hip rosebuds with the tulips. I think it just looks fantastic, really pretty. So I really wanted it to look like a bouquet of flowers. Let me just zoom out again so you can see the overall. I will try and pop some photographs at the end so you can see each section in a little bit more detail. I really enjoyed making this piece actually. It was quite fun and I didn't want to put too much in it. I just wanted to, you know, have a nice display of the flowers but without too much. So hopefully I've achieved that. I haven't added a hanger yet, but I am going to add either seam binding or lace to the top so that I can hang it up. So I really hope you like this, and like I say, I will pop all the product codes down below in the description box, so please go check out the site. You will absolutely love the new flowers and all the new colours, and it's so beautiful. So you can have fun looking at all the flowers. And you can either search by colour or you can search by flower type. So the website is set up really great for that. And so I really hope you like it, and hopefully I'll be back soon with another project. Bye for now.